We're waiting for Annemone.
Okay.
Where is she?
Waar is Annemone?
Where is Annemone? Well, we have 2 minutes left. No, we have 2 minutes left, so you can still talk to each other. I think it's because of the weather we're early today. Yeah.
I'm surprised I double checked.
Oh, you were early.
Oh, no, I was not.
Veel mensen.
Veel. Volle baan.
Ja? Waarom zijn jullie gekomen?
Voor jou?
Nee. En vooraan? Nou.
First row.
De fan. Fran en fan.
Jouw fanclub. Fran en fanclub. Moet ik bellen?
Nou, ze zal zo wel komen. We hebben nog een paar minuten. We have a few minutes left, so... Well, she is the introduction, so we need her. But everybody's really quiet today. What's going on? Oh, yeah. Shall I tell a little bit about myself? Well, yeah, I can already now. Well, we can also start a little bit. Thank you, Brok. He's also the moderator as well, so we are doing... Yeah, my name is Charlotte Gruen. For the people who don't know me, my fans in front already know me. I'm a social designer based in Eindhoven, het Klokgebouw. I graduated from the Design Academy in Eindhoven, 2007. Don't tell anyone. And actually, I graduated with a laundry line, who made the sound visible and hearable. So I made the process of drying clothes visible. So every fabric dries in a different way. I can have a lecture about it for an hour, how to dry your clothes. But hey, I was doing a talk in between.
Okay.
And so I made a laundry line to make, it's more like an art piece. And yeah. And Annemone and I work together at the Bioto Brainport project. That's actually how we met. For the people who don't know that project, it was, I think, 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
3 years ago already we started.
Yeah. During Dutch Design Week, we gave ourselves a challenge to produce a healthy, sustainable food in the region within 15 kilometers of the church, the Catharina Church. And it should be actually regenerated food, but that was quite hard while we are here on sand ground. So no. We well, not running. We inspired lots of initiatives, and that's why it's kind of still running. So we produced this food for 10,000 people in the Catharina ziekenhuis, and yeah.
And we failed.
And we failed. Talking about design doing, we failed completely. Yeah, but we did it.
We did it.
And we learned a lot.
Yeah, we have great stories. So, yeah, that's also nice. And we came to the conclusion that there is it's Dutch Design Week preparations already, brain fart. But
kun je ons horen? Ja. Robert, de microfoon werkt niet helemaal. Of hoor jij hem wel? Is het alleen maar voor de show? Oh, it's just for the video, so it's just for show.
It's just for show, yeah, for the video. I will try to speak out loud. Yeah, we're in a bit of a situation today because the other room was booked. So now we are in here. Yeah, okay, still trying. It's okay, yeah. Yeah, but you're on the front row. Do you hear me in the back? Yeah? Okay. Yeah. So there's just 3% of the in the Netherlands of the produce for the ingredients are biological. So when you need 4,500 kgs of food in one day here in Eindhoven, that's just not doable. And 4,500 kgs of food you need for 10,000 people. So, yeah, we thought it was quite some insights. Yeah.
But also about, our ground is sand. So all the farmers around this area, they mostly produce potatoes. So that's also a bit of a challenge. And we have lots of meat because of the sand. So there are like many things that were important for us. But for me personally, the start of the project was my daughter, who got diabetes a few years ago. Welcome.
Thank you.
And I was surprised when she was there, the unhealthy food that she got. So in the morning, they just diagnosed her with diabetes. So we were like totally stressed out, like what's going on? And they came up and they said, yeah, would you like to have some breakfast? Would you like to have a white sandwich with pasta? I'm like, what? She has diabetes. Yeah, but she can eat anything she wants. I disagree with you. So that was like the first, the inspiration for me to start this healthy project, but also to inspire people in the hospital to inspire their patients about healthy food and how important it is. But I think we can have another innovation cafe about it. But we waited for you, Annemone, and then they asked me like, who are you? So welcome, Annemone.
Thank you. I'm the founder of Kazerne. I'm a designer and I'm so proud of my colleagues. So that's why I created this platform, because I think it's really important to keep on shouting out what design can do. And together with this, I think it's really important that we designers start to integrally work together with the tech people. When we work together, that's where the magic happens, and that's where really change can come from. That's my firm belief. So I started this platform, and now we are also about to start our challenges. We are having an open call during the Dutch Design Week. The challenges are called radical change. So not a change, what we are talking about tonight, but change. And I think that these two powerhouses, Janne Brok and
Petra, Janssen.
We know each other already for 40 years. That's always so. Sorry. Yeah, Pete. So, they drive change. And the methods that they have, they are really great, but it's also just like doing. We are always talking about so much. Let's stop with the Band-Aids, let's start change, and let's start to do it. So, yeah.
Great. Yeah. Woohoo! Yeah. I have a question for the audience. Who of you is the first time here for the Innovation Café? Whoa, a lot of new people. That's really good. Okay. Oh, in this room. Okay, who is here for the first time in this room? I will ask the question for you. Wow, it's also a new experience, so that's good. For the people who are here for the first time, we connect tech and design together to find new solutions, to start a movement, a change. And what we do here today is we will have like a small introduction that we have now, and then we have like two speakers, one from design and one from tech, both wearing pink. Science, okay, sorry, Janne. Okay, science and tech. And afterwards they will have like you only had like one image, right? All of you had like one image, and they will give their presentation, and afterwards there's time for you to ask questions. I will walk around, give you the mic, and you can ask any question you want. Yeah? Come on in. Welcome. Who are you? No, just joking. No, you can go to the back. Yeah, and afterwards we will also have an watch out! Yeah, yeah. Welcome. And afterwards we will have a dinner. If you want to, you can say it to Zoe. She will come in earlier, and she can tell her like, I want to join dinner, which is really nice because then you can also continue the conversation. And afterwards we also have drinks, and we only have 1 hour, so that means that not everybody can ask their questions, but afterwards during drinks, please find the speakers. So first we will start with Janne. Please, Janne, come on over. And actually with a big applause. Yes, because I will get it. You wrote a book, or you made a book. Did you also write it, or?
So actually, I co-wrote it together with 2 colleagues.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where's your book about?
So it's about radical change and the patterns behind radical change. So I should speak a bit louder.
No, it's fine. No.
Okay.
This is just for the video. Don't worry.
Oh, okay,
You
yeah.
can speak any voice. Yeah. No, she don't need to. She has a. Thank you. We have very involved audience, so that's really good.
So in the back, if you don't hear me, then please let me know, right? So yes, indeed, it's about actually it's, you could say, about systems, about realities and changing realities. So not the small changes, not the improvements, but really like radical. Yeah.
Wow.
Shall I start my?
Yeah, I'm very curious.
Yeah.
Please.
So I have just this to remind me. So thanks for being here. I think it's really great and very many people in the room. So that's really exciting. So just to start with a number of questions to you. So it's a bit prepared because of the title, right, of this evening. But who in the room thinks that we really need big change in order to solve where we are as humanity? Okay, so yeah, that's kind of an easy one, right? Now, who feels really equipped and knows how to do radical change? Yeah, okay. So that's a bit less, but still, okay. So I think there's some delta between what we feel we need and what we feel equipped for, right? So I'm here to tell you that actually radical change is easier than it sounds. Okay, so that's the good news. There's one thing about radical change, and I think that's a misconception. So many people have the idea that we need visionaries or leaders to put for us a dot on the horizon such that all of us can follow and we can arrive at change. Now, sometimes it happens, right? But, well, actually, most of the times, no. I would say it's a bit disappointing in terms of leaders and visionaries, right? So then we better do it ourselves. And that's actually what we hope to achieve with our book, that we hope to change how people think about change so that all of us are empowered to actually accomplish change. That's the actual goal. So now, my last question to you is, the last year, how often did you go on a vacation? So if you didn't go on vacation, you can, and if you did go once, or twice, or 3 times, or even more. Oh. So I would say, I don't know, most of us went on vacation more than once, right? So then let me tell you that each and every time you go on a vacation, you do a radical change. You change your reality twice. Once when you go, once when you come back. Okay? So don't let anyone tell you that you are not good at radical change. You are already doing it, and you are already doing it in a kind of natural way. Now, if we can make this knowledge explicit and conscious, then that can help us, that will help us in getting to radical change, also not for personal context, which a holiday is, right? You go alone with your family or friends, but for a large context as well. So changing actual systems. Patterns are the same. So if I go on a holiday, just to dive into that a little, this summer I went with my family, with my husband and 2 kids, and a very Dutch type of vacation. We went camping with a tent, okay? So then a lot of things changed, and I will only pick out 3 of those, just to go through the pattern. So one is that usually in everyday life there's an alarm clock in the morning, right? It rings, well, maybe at 7. So the alarm clock exists in my everyday reality. When we go on a holiday, there's one rule, there's no alarm clock, right? We even have this tent with a dark canvas, right, to make sure that you can sleep. So the alarm clock goes from is existing to it isn't, right? That's a inversion which is part of this new reality. A second essential thing that actually really changes drastically is comfort. So at home I have a comfortable house, I have running water, the toilet is always nearby, we have a fancy coffee machine, you name it, right? Then you go on a vacation, especially if you're in a tent, nothing there. Making coffee, I mean, it's really costs a lot of time, right? Going to the toilet actually takes a lot of time. So comfort goes from very high to quite low, right? So that's a inversion in scale, say. It goes from a lot of comfort to little comfort, but it's part of the new reality. Then there's a third type of inversion, and that's maybe in a personal example is the most least understandable one, but it's a very important one if you go to a system change. But also in your personal life you have those. So if I am at home, my role as a parent to my children is mainly one of, how do you say this? You make sure that they are well prepared for school. You kind of arrange everything. You're really these kind of parental tasks, right? That's the main part of parenting during everyday life. Now, when we are on a holiday, of course, there's a little of that too, but the whole is a lot bigger, because the whole is also that you are a co-adventurer, that you do things together, that you have new experiences, not only new to them, being children, but also new to me, right? So this role goes from quite narrow to something much wider. It goes from a part to a whole. So that's the other type of inversion. That's one of those essentials of the holiday. And then, of course, if you do this, then what evolves, what will emerge, you never know up front, right? It will evolve, but you do make this inversion, and then you see what comes out. But the inversion is the radical part. So then, of course, I can go on, right? I mean, a holiday is much more than those three essences inverting, but you get the gist of it, I hope. And all those inversions, all those essentials changing really radically in those three types of way, from is to isn't, from little to lots, or from part to whole, those together make that I am in a new reality. And the thing is that you cannot really change one of those. I cannot be in a new reality by only having no alarm clock. Then something just doesn't work, right? So you have to, if you flip some essence, you have to flip many. So radical change is about flipping not one, but flipping many. And if we know that, then we can work together, then we can recognize this pattern, help each other out, recognize change you see around you, also think of it yourself, obviously. And that's what the pattern is about. And then if we get fluent in this, maybe it takes some time, maybe you need some inspirational examples, maybe you start recognizing it, you start doing it yourself, then we will get fluent in this, and then as a group of people we can achieve really this change. And we don't need those visionary leaders anymore. We will just make it happen ourselves. So, that's it.
Thank you. Very interesting, Janne.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Well, I have a question. Sorry, I couldn't hold it. How did you came up with the metaphor vacation?
So I'm indeed an engineer and maybe a researcher. So the thing is that I always have trouble making things really relatable and specific, right? Mm-hmm. And then, the three of us, well, actually Eric and me, we just came up with this idea, like, okay, vacation is just the example everybody knows, and it's it holds. Yeah.
Nice, really nice. Thank you. Well, questions we have later. Petra, please come up. Big applause for Petra Janssen from Studio Boot and Werkwarenhuis. Well, does this sound familiar for you? Do you recognize some things? Because you're more like a, doer.
I do. I recognize something, but I'm also somebody who just start.
Yeah.
Because in the end, I not agree. I think a lot of people need a point, a horizon to go, and I really love to inspire. And I think that design doing and designers really can do that. So for me, it's really to put the ball somewhere, to have a vision, to have guidelines, but not telling the way. So the process you can't design. So this is my method, and this is how I want to work and how we can reach a lot. Because if you think too much in the beginning, then a lot of people get stuck and don't start. And this is for me really important that everybody has to start. So I don't want to have big pillows of things that you have to climb over and then you start. So
This was your inspiration. And
yeah,
you just
so
start.
for me it's really important to be very low key and experiment and make a lot of failures. Then you will get somewhere.
Okay. Tell us your story about
Yes.
social label.
Yes, I will. So I only brought also one picture. So this is one picture of the group. Next, as I am a designer and also a teacher at Design Academy. And I started the foundation Social Label, but I didn't found it just as a concept. I did in 2011 a big festival. In 2011 there was also very lot of chaos in the world with banks falling bankrupt, a lot going on with the Twin Towers. Everybody was also scared, maybe same time as we are in now. I stopped at the Design Academy then. I had some time left next to my design agency because I really want to do something with design in the meaning of the context of society. And we made a festival in Tilburg. It's called Hutte Festival de Vlek, and we built in 10 days a village just to try to take a look how we can live together in a better world. It's very idealistic, but I asked 12 friends, designers, architects, all kind of different areas they worked on, and we built in 7 days with the same wood a little village. One did the a workshop, the other one did the hotel. So in building 7 days, inviting people, I asked a sociologist, anthropologist, just to take a look what we are doing. They wrote down everything, what they saw, and we hope that we can learn from this. What happened there is that I also invited a workshop, a social workshop from the area of Tilburg. And I asked everybody, also the designers, everybody, if you can have the ground if you can make a chicken. And if you can make a chicken and you can give everybody some chicken, then you are welcome in our community, just as an art piece. And this was so much fun because everybody was there. There was a lot of people of Tilburg, people with low IQ, all kinds of people were working there. And we were all looking the same. This is now Social Label, but we did it in 2011. So you couldn't see who had money, who had study, who is who, we couldn't see. So we worked on that. And then there, Peter and Eek, maybe people here know him, he's an interior designer. And I asked him to make the interior of the cafe in 4 days, 5 days. And he made a concept of beams, putting beams together, making beams loose. And he did, and he needs some help. And then this group of the social workshop helped him. And then this guy from the social workshop said to his teacher, "Oh, this is nice, I can copy it." And I said, "No, you can't copy that. This is a designer, this is his business case, he wants to live from this. If you want to copy it, with scrap wood, you have to ask him." So this is how Social Label started. We have to ask each other. So for me, Social Label is also communication is the base of our society. If we don't ask things to each other, we ask permission or we ask assignment or things. That is the first start. So Pete said, yes, of course I want to do that. And this was the first assignment. Now we became a foundation. We did, I think, already 25 pilots with 25 different designers. And what we do, we designing labor for a special group, people with disabilities or with no home or are refugees, but every group has its own designer, and the designer is not making a project that the group produce, but the designer has to make something so they can learn, grow, find a way back in society, or maybe, and I took this example, and because this is our biggest impact, this we made with a group of people with disabilities, and these are ceramics. You can see it later, but what we did is that the ceramics, all the people were asked to tell the story. And we did it already in 2014. I brought a book, so I didn't have pictures, but...
It's a bit of a bookshop.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bookshop. But for everybody of this group, Edwin Volleberg, Studio Boot, made a drawing. So there are more than 400 pictures, and every 2 years there are new pictures are coming. And they are making the ceramic, they are cutting the pictures, and they are designing their own ceramics. So now the impact of this is that this social healthcare organization had only one oven, and now they have 3 or 4, and we are selling. So they went from just a healthcare organization, they went to a social firm with everyday work. So we are designing work. So next to that, about system change, next to that is that we want to have the healthcare organizations to get more social. So we also have a lot of things in our book. Healthcare went more social, and we want to have commercial companies more, healthcare more independent, and commercial companies more social. And this is now our own factory. So the Social Labor Lab in Den Bosch. We have another big place because we want to inspire companies, governments. You can do it different. You can do it different in laws. You can do it different in the way we speak to each other, because we want to have a movement, action, rules. So the Queen came twice. We went to Lubbers. We write a book because it's really important you do it. That design can do a lot more. So we have like 50 products, but we also have a book with a lot of scientists, designers. We work together and we ask everybody every year. So there are failures in, but this is really important that you have to be proud of failures. For me, design doing is really important because you can't learn. So the impact, and also, we asked somebody of TNO, and they said, very theoretical. And they made for us I don't know where it is now, but our own impact measurements. So we design our own impact because it wasn't there. And we are still on a mission, but the time is changing. But I think radical change is really difficult, because what I learned from already 12 years doing this is that we have to scale up, but small and cooperative. So it has to be all people together, and then you can make a big movement. And I'm still have fun in it. So what we do is we have also a shop. We selling the design products, so we want to make social economy. And on the other hand, we want to we have a lot of discussion with governments, with how we can change and have it more inclusive and more better. So I think design doing is for me really important, because otherwise you can't show what the impact is. And the nice thing of it feels good. It's like a positive activism. And we make beautiful projects. We sell in museum shops or everywhere. And also what's really nice is that we can we can ask all the groups come to a Dutch Design Week. They went to Milan Design Week. So that's a lot of fun. Wow. A little bit it.
Thank you, Petra. I have a question.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. It's very inspiring. Also that the people are not just making nice objects. They're also learning and growing as a person, which is very important for social labor.
Important.
Yeah. But you are also changing something else, the werkwarenhuis itself.
Yeah, the place where we are, it's in Den Bosch. I don't know if people know Den Bosch, just nearby. So it's a beautiful medieval city, and we have in an old factory, the same as the products. We went to this factory, and also from the model. So we went from nothing to something.
Oh wow!
So we changed the whole factory. So also with the products, with architects. So when we earn the money, we changed it. So in Den Bosch we have shown, and it's really important through culture engagement and just doing it, showing it. Because when I went to City Hall, and they said, I want to make something new, and they said, no, you can't. But we did it. And now, after 9 years placemaking there, we are at the point that our City Hall sees how important this kind of places are. Yeah. And
it's a very special place. You also told me that this is the only place for young people in Den Bosch to really come together. That was also...
Yeah, Den Bosch has, of course, people for young people, but a lot of young people, it's not a student, like not so many students here, but they are living there and then they go away. They go to Amsterdam or Utrecht. And when we made it, so we made also a restaurant, same as here.
Very nice, Van Aken.
Van Aken, but it's really bottom up. So it was a cattle feed factory. So we changed it from a cattle feed factory, and we have to do everything ourselves, but everybody helped. Peter Hein was also the architect, because everything we reused. So the whole building is reused, upcycled, and everything was black as people of distance of labor market. So we call it, I only have a German word for it, Gesamtkunstwerk.
Oh yeah.
So it's
you build it together.
We build it together, and because it's really important, what I want to show is that, and that's, you say tech, but there are a lot of people in the Netherlands who really want to work with their hands and still want to work with their hands. So what we try is that tech is not, it's really important that we people still have to make beautiful things. Because, and I see it with the group, if you make something, it will exist. You are there. So it's for a lot of people really important.
I also think you create a lot of dopamine when you make something. That's also a nice feeling. So
that's
it helps.
That
for
helps.
sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Janne, please come up here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, does anybody has a question? Of course. Yes.
Hello, my name is Steven. I studied physics and I'm a musician. And I'm a regular here. You told about a vacation radical change, but in my opinion, vacation it's kind of a safe way of radical change because you go there and you know you're going to back home to your. Yeah, it's also a radical change, but you're back at your daily routine. I think if you have a radical change in society or personal, it's kind of permanent. So how do you compare those two with each other?
Yeah, good question, and you're certainly right. So, and I know of examples where people were on a holiday, and then they couldn't go back because of whatever reason, and then they totally freaked out, right? Yeah. So indeed, the temporariness of vacation is one of the ways that it works, right? And otherwise, of course, you have all sorts of other constraints in terms of money and time, of course. But so that's true. But when you go on a vacation, then you didn't spell everything out, right? I mean, if you go somewhere for the third time, maybe it's a little different, right? But if you go somewhere for the first time, of course, you know, oh, I'm going to this area, it's mountainous, it's very quiet maybe, or whatever, I will be able to do these and these activities. So you kind of have a thing of what will change, right? But then if you go there, then the holiday emerges, right? It emerges from these inversions. Yeah. So that's this process, say, that's the same as radical change. And of course, if you have a personal radical change, maybe a life-changing event, right? Then the elements are there, and then your new life emerges from these inversions. That's the...
Yeah.
But then still the vacation, of course, although unexpected what you would find out if you go there for the first time, it's still, you still, of course some people are stuck there because due to some, but it's still a safe way for a radical change because you come back. So how do you stimulate people, because I think a lot of people are stuck kind of in their daily routine. I'm one of them too, I think. So how can you stimulate people to have a radical change in their, or maybe as a society as a whole, and their for permanent radical change? Because then you don't have the safety net to go back to it how it was before.
Yeah. So now the building blocks we know. At least that's my opinion. Obviously. So we have to change a lot of aspects in order to get to something which works again. Yeah. And this is actually, if you and there comes the engineering and the scientific mind. If you think about this from a mathematical point of view, it's not that you have one reality and you switch to the other, right? There are many possibilities, right? And there will be the ones that will fit are there, and that's where I think also what you said is an interesting discussion. It's not that you have to know exactly up front which ones to change. If you know these patterns, then you always have the possibility to pivot and I guess most people who have accomplished something really new, they know, right? They know that, okay, now I'm taking this step, and from this I see that now I don't go along that way, but I go along here, right? So, and that's actually a competence.
Yeah, I was thinking, because what we do with Social Label and Social Label Lab, we make an in-between space. Because radical is too radical, people don't want to jump. So Social Label Lab is an in-between space where everybody is welcome, where you don't see who everybody is, you work, we don't ask, we are not healthcare organization. We don't ask what's your problem. You come, you work with your hands. We make on the Thursdays a lot of design products, and people make themselves better, make themselves or the other. So they talk, they do the talking. They are just working, making things. We have people came to us a year ago. They came in and didn't talk, and they came maybe weeks didn't talk, and then they start to talk, and they did a project with Brigitte Vermeulen. It was the workwear, and then we asked them, okay, design your own clothes, and they started to design your own clothes, and they went then to the design week, and then in the end they found themselves, and they were daring to talk. So that's their radical change, but it took a lot of steps, and you need an in-between room that nobody asked or nobody wants to be watched to a radical change.
And in that sense, it's a journey, right?
It's a journey. It's a personal journey. So it's what we do as designers. We are not telling how the journey is. They have to design their own life. We only give design tools and equipment, and there is a product as outcome that they be proud on. But we have like two products. We have the person, and we have the design product.
I think it's interesting.
And that's it.
Journey is also a nice word combined
Yeah.
with vacation. I don't know.
Yeah, personal journey.
We have another question, Betsy.
Yeah, to kind of continue the vacation theme, it's a little different. I think, I first of all, I think it's really interesting that you kind of empower people to make little changes, because I think, in a safe space like your factory or in the guise of taking it into your vacation, but something I've studied and I kind of looked at is sustainable tourism. So there, you say, it's temporary or something like that, but it's 6 weeks out of our lives on average per year that you can make a change, right? And if you do it, if you think about bringing sustainability into your travel, it's a really big change. I mean, it's actually pretty radical. If you're not going on flights, for instance, if you're not driving, or if you're using electric trains or something in your travel, but then even like shopping locally, and I actually don't bring a lot of luggage with me when I go, and I actually go to secondhand stores locally in the places that I go and pick up clothes when I get there and eat locally. I mean, so just changing your whole mindset empowers people to say that they can actually make change, so I think that's what we all, I think it is overwhelming sometimes when there's all these massive problems in the world, and it's like, how can I do something, and so I think I like your examples. It's really great. Thanks.
Yes, we have another question. Yes.
Thank you very much, Sanna. It's my first time here. Thank you very much for the presentation and also cheers. And cheers, apparently. So when you talk about radical change, I always think about identity change. So you can change the environment, but there's so many examples from history when you change a group with their society together. The radical change doesn't have the effect for ages. It takes a long time because they stick to their own society. And then, they're not even, accepting the environment that much. So, I just like to, hear your thoughts about it. And also, in terms of the small changes that mentioned there, I think the community support and, changing the environment, totally together is, a bit important. What's your, thought pains around that? I just want to ask that, yeah.
Great question. Yeah, the vacation example is indeed a personal example, right? I think if you look at the really systems or realities or societies, then I believe they are layered. There's a hierarchy, right? And in order to really change a society, you should change essences on all levels. Now that sounds like a daunting task, obviously, yeah. But I actually don't think it's like that. I mean, if you have a way to change within a level and also make one connection up or down, then you kind of grow it like that. I hope it's not a too theoretical answer, but also there the patterns hold. I mean, if you think about just as an example, questions about equality, right? Then there's a couple of essences that really make a difference. And if you go from, in old times, obviously, when it was changed that only men could inherit family wealth, if you change that, of course, then that makes a big change, right? So that's a change at a very high level. But obviously, these kind of changes, they can come from bottom up, right? So the thing is that in order to think about systems, realities change, you need to consider many levels. But on these levels, each and every time the pattern is the same.
What was your really higher?
Yeah, we have
solution?
we have 4 solutions. We do system change, and that's what we do. Me and Simone. Mm-hmm. Then we have because we do it together. We are corporate and on a different way. So we really like politics and economics. So it's all about writing and talking to governments and things, where are the problems, where do you want to change? And then we did a lot of pilots, just design doing, showing that you really can do it on a different way. And then get all the people here to the design week or come in or have the talk. So we did it with commercial company, healthcare companies, but also with science. We did it with a lot of schools, a lot of arts residents. So all the pilots together we wrote down, and we wrote down also the impact of it. So it's all also that if you do all this design doing, you have to show later on in the impact what it really meant and what it really means. The only problem we have now is that our value cases are not compatible with the euro. It's still a problem. There are I did TIA's business, all kind of business schools. I asked help. Because if we do want to show what kind of impact, it's like a high value, but it's still not countable in euros. And we are still living in a society where the euro is more countable than the value.
Yeah,
so, but this is also my theme that I do it already for 13 years now. And I know already that, you know, like in this book, we wrote this in 2019 and we learned a lot again, but it's still going on. So we are always in the middle of the context of society, and now we have a new crisis and different other problems, but it's still, we have still a problem because, especially here in the Netherlands, the divide of the, are poor and the rich, or learning and not learning, it's going two sides. So we still have to fight to get everybody together on the same level. And it's important. As a designer, you can do this.
Yeah, for sure. We have another question.
Yes?
First of all, thank you for the inspiring presentations. And following the conversation, I am curious to understand where, according to you, lies the boundary between change and radical change, and what determines it?
Is it a question from both of them?
Maybe.
Maybe Petra first.
I know now, after working on trying to get some change, that a radical change is very difficult, because you have to have, first of all, you have people, you know, really are want to do it themselves. You know, and there is what we do. It's also, a lot of people think it's PR. It has to be in you as a person. That's what I want to say. So it's not, you know, that you just do it. You know, that's not everybody can do it, because for me then, because we were very social in healthcare, working with a lot of people, and it's not like a concept and you are just going to do that. You really want to help, want to do something, or you want to mean something, and you have to do, because all we do costs 4 times more time. So it's not quick. We have to listen carefully. Yeah. We have to look carefully to the people. So for us, it's more slow design, because if you want to do what we do, the change, we can't do it radically, because people will overwhelm. It's because we work with people of distance of labor market, with lower IQ, with a lot of different other problems, and what we want is that they have more included in our society. So,
Janne, what do you think that's her radical change? Because then I want your answer of.
Maybe for you that's flow of change. But what is for you, for example? Where lies the boundary between how you determine it? Maybe more scientific, I don't know.
I love that question. So I think there's time, right? Mm-hmm. It's so doing a radical change from this moment to that moment, then of course everybody will say no. So I think that's the important escape route, right? It's time. But from a scientific point of view, and I mean, if there are engineers and scientists in the room, then it's kind of, we have many models and tools for very small changes, right? So it's calculus, it's differential equations. We have loads of them, and we built a great world with it, right? I mean, you can hardly underestimate its power. I think from a scientific point of view, we should also think not about minimal change, but about maximal change. Not because we need maximal change, or, well, I'm not the one to decide if we need maximal change, but from an intellectual point of view, we need to know how maximal change works. We know everything about minimal change. My suggestion to the scientific community is, you better also work on the other extreme. And we will definitely learn something from that. That's the thing.
And if you look, you've heard her question, you've heard Petra's question. You as a scientist, what is her radical change? Can you name it?
I see many. I mean,
but it's not the goal. That's the.
But what you do is at least if I may try to interpret that, what you do is you see something which is not right. You want to change it. So you know what is the current reality, and you want to change it, and then you make a big step. Mm-hmm. And the big step, for instance, is, and I really love that example, that you are not designing a product, you are designing the whole of product plus the maker, right? And you design it in such a way that you get a nice product and that you that the maker is learning, right? Is developing. So that's a big step from the usual design, right? Now, if you make this big step, then at least in one aspect you made a big change, and then the trouble starts, obviously, right?
No, not at all, because that's with design doing. Because because I'm an educator, I thought, we just call it the 4 Ps. It's like first a person, who are you? What kind of person are you? Then we design a process. Okay, what can you do? Okay, maybe you can do this, do that. So, and then okay, from this process, there is a product. And then in the end, it's a podium together. So it's very simple, but it's just take time to go into the person. So that's it's doable. But this is really important that we still look at persons, and and then you have the biggest grow, or self-esteem, or identity, or whatever everybody learns, or is a group. Let us say with cello, with the ceramics, as a group of people, they have their own factory now. So this is, and that's a lot of fun. So, it's just from an education point of view, and also the need for me as a designer in 2011 to put it in another way. We don't want to make another chair only if there is education in, only if this, or only,
Really
so I have like, I have a different value, social value, and of course we look, to the other kind of sustainability, but it has to be social sustainability. It starts with people. We have more
questions, Petra.
Oh, sorry.
I have also a question, or maybe 2 questions related to radical change. So,
you can do only have one.
Yeah, I will cover it out. So, isn't radical change more a symptom of us failing to change incrementally? And related to that is the outlook that radical change might be possible, which maybe isn't, preventing incremental change.
Oh. Janne?
Yeah.
Not me.
So I would say the opposite, obviously. So incremental change is now actually hindering radical change, but then maybe the other way around holds as well. And you see that in a lot of big organizations, mostly, corporates, they change a little, and that makes the current system stronger, right? Because it makes it more efficient according to the KPIs of the current system, which is euros. It makes it more efficient. So then it will be more difficult to go to radical change. Now, what was the first part of your question?
Yeah, so...
yes, I remember, sorry. So, change. So I do believe that that's another part of the book, is that the current system has what we call don't cares. So these are essentials that certainly in the beginning you don't care. For instance, if we have just a number of cars in the world, CO2, it's a don't care. It's really small. With scale, it will become a do care. And then, at some point in time, this don't care emerges as do care, and then it will be a trigger for radical change. We have many examples there, right? So, in that sense, scale is one of the aspects that forces us to change radically. And that scale of unintended, and people like to call it, externalized internalities. That's in itself, it's those words already put it somewhere out of the system. But it's we couldn't have so many cars if it wasn't for the CO2, right? That's an essential of this system. So, so scaling within a system, I think that in itself will, at some point in time, lead to radical change.
Yeah, I think that's one for the drink, because we have another 2 for the drink. And it's already time. Sorry, Ernst. Don't want to be not personal.
Maybe you have answered already my question, but can you impose radical change on society when there's no gain or enough pain to do so?
Would you?
Well, I mean, that's a good question. Yeah. No, but I think what I mean to say is that radical change always is nice as like a one-liner, but in reality, of course, societies only move when there's enough pain or gain, and there's always like a downside of imposing radical change. And I understand a bit the example of vacation and having a harder life. But how do you move society in such a way that we maybe for some aspects need to take a step back and actually decrease the quality of life for us to make radical change to, for example, solve a big problem? And how would you do that? Because practically speaking, I haven't had one answer that could actually impose radical change on society instead of it being just theoretical or maybe practical but on a small scale, which again... There is no one answer. Maybe there is no one answer, but...
What is your background?
I have a very diverse background.
Okay. I think for me, what is really important is this in-between zone, because that's a radical change. We don't have it anymore in our society. There are not that many places that we have so many bubbles we live in. So we have bubbles where we live, and we have bubbles on the internet, and so this is maybe, I was thinking about radical, but this is, I think, the main radical change we try to do is make this social bubble equal again, because this is really important nowadays. People don't meet each other anymore. We don't see people with other inconveniently. I see them every Thursday. We had today, I saw so many people, and they were sitting with everybody's welcome with us, but everybody was really a lot of characters, I would say, and it's really fun. And I think, for me, I was thinking about this question, what is radical? We have to go back to make this radical places again, because everybody's only busy for themselves, or the money, or hurry, or things, and design, being creative, meeting, that's a new start. So, and if you want to do that, you have to make these places yourself. Lots of young students, communities, you can do it yourself. That's very simple. Yeah.
We have another one. Question. What's your name?
Gloria.
Gloria.
Yeah, thank you. My question is to maybe you or both of you. I was thinking, because we are speaking of for reality from a perspective of a scientist, what is the reality? For me, this makes me think reality is something that it's constant, never changed. But yeah, I'm interested.
Well, what is your reality?
Again, a very good question. So it's really very nice to get all your thoughts here. So a lot of people talk about systems change. Now, systems is a bit outside, and the first reason we use reality is because it feels more inside. It's us, right? Now, of course, it's quite philosophical what you would consider reality. So I think, we are part of it. That's for sure. And I can experience reality way different from you, right? So in that sense, that's really a deep question on how you see it. But for change purposes, what's important is that you address everything that's important to you, and that also is in if you think about radical change and objections or resistance to radical change, that points to some aspect which is at least important. At least for this person saying it, right? It might not be important for me, but as it's important for the reality of the other person, you better put it into the whole that you want to change. So in that sense, it's the lousy answer to this question would be everything that matters to the people involved. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, we only have time for one. Okay. This is like the really last question. You can ask your question during the race. Yeah, you too. Sorry.
I was wondering, when I was hearing you were talking about this idea of radical change, and You were talking about scale, how the larger the scale, the bigger the radical change you could make in opposition to very small changes, even though they can be radical at that scale. And I was thinking about your work and how it has been extremely radical in that very specific space in terms of how do you think that you could scale that so that it becomes actually what you are thinking of? Maybe policy making, maybe...
we did it the other way.
If you have already thought of that scale jump.
For sure, yeah. We started the other way around. So we started to do the first 15 pilots in the Netherlands. So we did Groningen, we did 3 in Brabant, 4 or 5. But then, like 5 years ago, it really went bad in the healthcare organizations in the Netherlands because they lost, like in the corona, they lost a lot of healthcare people. And they had to work to healthcare. What happened then in the healthcare organization? They lose all the jobs, so all this beautiful workshops went away. So what we did, we took everything in. So we made our own social label atelier. So we made in our lab, we just took all the work from the ateliers in the healthcare because, and especially not Van Cello, but they were growing. We made it smaller, but what we're doing now, we organize a lot. Also, we're trying to scale it up, not maybe in production, because it's still slow design. And the thing is that, there are people with this in the labor market, because you can't say make thousands of this or that, because then it's... So our scale up is scale up in how we present it. So that's why I'm now also busy in Venice and in Madrid. Because the theme I did last in the Dutch Milan Design Week, I organized with Dizine a little debate about what is a social designer, because in every country, social designer has a different meaning. So I'm organizing that, and I'm now busy with 3 universities from Madrid and Venice, just to take a look what is the meaning of social design, because I'm not a social designer, because I would say I want socioeconomics. I want to be in the real world, economics, not a project. I want to be sustainable, so that really people understand that they can earn money, design can change, and now I'm trying to scale up in that way, not earning money, but try to have it in Spain and in Italy, and that we can understand and learn from each other how each country do it in a different way. So this is the way, as designer, I'm trying to do something.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah.
What I find very... applause. Yes, thank you. Just a personal reflection. What I find very interesting is that we have like 2 amazing power women here, but one is like doing it, like really practical, and growing like that as well. So every chance that you see, you take, and you take it to the next level, and you analyze it like more theoretical, which is quite interesting because it's kind of 2 different worlds, but also the same in a way. You're the owner, so you can have that.
No. We need Hans, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but I think this might also be the bridge, if you start working together, that you can create a model that sees the
you can help me in this European thing.
Yeah. I think that might be an idea.
Yeah, and we have a small gift for you, kind of a gift. It's actually Hans. Hans, you're the gift now. I made you the gift. Well, the thing is, Hans is always drawing our innovation cafes, and he will always do a wrap-up. So Hans, please.
Okay. I think it's very nice the way you showed the difficulty in change. On the one side, you have the holidays, the package tour, or the backpackers tour. I mean, the change in the one side is incremental. In the package tour, you know what you get, and you only want to have that. And the backpacker goes for the adventure. In your case, I feel that what you're really doing is showing people that they are dealing with change on a big scale, but they don't know it. And once they realize that they are changing so much, they are able to apply that to other areas. I would say that is what I got from your story, your presentation. And the Petra's presentation, I felt, was all about skin in the game. I mean, you really want to work with the people, you want to meet them, and you bring about the change with the other, where the medium is the message. Mm-hmm. And it works by trial and error. Yeah. So you are practical, and the other side looks from the top view. And both views I can sort of summarize by what D.H. Lawrence said about change. He asked the question, do you think it's easy to change? It's very difficult. It's very hard to change and be different, because you have to go through the waters of oblivion. And the waters of oblivion, for those who do not immediately recognize that, means you have to forget how you did it. Mm-hmm. And I think most problems occur in change that people cannot forget how they did it. And the biggest example, I think, you find in computer technology. I mean, these tech cowboys, they reached the point where people who used to work on a big screen all went back to very small things on which they are now doing everything, which would be a lot easier if they did it on a big screen. And how did they do that? They did it by making it interesting for people to go for the change. So I think it's forgetting how you do it, that's the best way. Mm-hmm. Thank you for your presentations.
Thank you, Hans. Very sharp again. Wow. Thank you all for coming. We have drinks afterwards. In the back you see Zoe with her beautiful aqua blue green kind of sweater, jacket. If you want to stay for dinner, please talk to her and enjoy your drinks and continue the conversation. See you next time. Oh, sorry.
May I? Sorry. Just we go back now through the garden, and we go back to the bar like this, and there's another group, but we just ignore them.
You're not there.
Yeah, and
the next Innovation Café.
Yeah, the next Innovation Café will be during Dutch Design Week, and we will have two during the Design Week. We will start with a fuck-up session. Yeah, we have these beautiful social designers again who are working with people that needed to go out of the country because of wars. And everyone is telling them, the social designers, like, oh, you're doing such a great job. And then the applause fades away, and then no one is doing a thing again. So how can we help those beautiful people to get settled?
And when is that?
That's the Monday of Dutch Design Week, so that's the 20th. And then the Thursday during Dutch Design Week, we have a regular Innovation Café. This will be about local shit and local crap getting into new materials.
Wow, catchy sentences for the Dutch Design Week. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and don't forget to visit also Petra. She's
a
social hub with a beautiful project. Yeah. We have a book lounge of Gonzalo here. We will do something together about a radical change. So.
Yeah, and also there is our Cookies Club, the refugee women have a special, in the social, but also on Stripe S, there is a Red Box special women exposition.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So lots to do. Yeah. For now, enjoy drinks and enjoy evening. Thank you very much.